What is up? What is going on? Dave at SVA Card Collectors. I'm trying a different microphone. Hopefully it sounds a little bit better. I don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. You may hear even more crap. It's the one that I use when I'm at home, so I look ridiculous if people are looking around. So I have it slightly lower, so people don't point and laugh at me. They tend to do that anyway. I just don't want to give them another reason. And so anyway, hope you guys had a Merry Christmas, and if you are of different faiths, you guys enjoying your Hanukkah, and I don't know what else is happening. I'm sorry if there's Kwanzaa or anything else. I don't know. I'm not with it with the religions. But yeah, so I am going to continue on. Let's continue on this journey of getting rid of crap that you don't want. It's going to be a New Year soon, and everyone likes to make New Year's resolutions that we won't keep up with. But let's try to. That's going to be the main point of this. We have a Flick Chat group and also a Facebook group that we can actually be accountable for people. And so let's try to make things happen. And that's basically going to be my goal moving forward. And I've talked about this before. Just getting rid of commons, inserts, whatever, crap that I don't want. You know, from all the blasters that I've been buying and all the other crap that I really just don't want. I want to thin the herd, as they say. And so, Christmas Eve, I spoke about 2 tips about listing on eBay. Go check that stuff out. I think what I said, I think it was pretty good. I think it was pretty good stuff. And this will be somewhat of a continuation of this topic. And so we are now going to talk about what is your time worth. Do you want to, if you're working a full-time job, obviously we're not doing this, full-time. If you are, then you're in a different category, and that's a different discussion for maybe a later date. Because, of course, I could talk a lot about it because I've been a car dealer. Not. So, what is your time worth? There's many schools of thought, but I've been listening to a eBay reseller, and a lot of the things I'm talking about I've heard before. It's just refreshing my mind. It used to be called if you want to check it out, the YouTube channel is Daily Refinement. It's nothing to do with sports cards. It's more about reselling and really trying to resell full time on eBay, on Amazon, or whatever. And a lot of this stuff, again, I know, and I've been spitting out on the airwaves, but he sort of gave a very specific amount of money, and I tend to agree. I think $50 an hour is what your time should be worth, because if you're doing that full time, that's $2,000 a week. You times that by 52 weeks, and it's that number. I think it's a good estimate of what somebody's worth, because all the different things that you have to do, because you need that type of, like, if you really wanted to do this full time, that's the number you have to target, because that's how much money you want to make, and you just have expenses to take out and all that nonsense. So that's the number you should be shooting for. And so, can you do 50 listings if you're selling a card and only making $1 profit? Can you do that? Or if you're listing it and you're selling it for $1 and free shipping, or $2, and you're thinking, you're going, all right, well, I'm going to list all these cards, and I'm going to make a buck here, a buck there, and get her done. Or Does it make more sense to lot everything up? The good, the bad, the ugly? Maybe you lose a couple of bucks, but at least you can do 5 listings of $10, and then you're good to go. Then you're good for that day. If you're working just 1 hour, it's something that you guys should be thinking about. Some people go, it's not a big deal. I just list. It takes me no time. It doesn't take you no time. If you actually think about all the different steps that you have to take, from finding the card, from putting the card down, taking the picture, researching the price of the card, selling one like that, if you go on the app. It's slow. It's not fast. Everything's not immediate. So it'll take you 5 minutes to do one listing. Maybe you'll do it in 4 minutes. Maybe if you're really fast, you do it in 3 minutes. So you do 3 minutes, divide that bad boy up by 60. You're only going to be doing 30. No, that's not true. That's not true at all. Math is my strong suit, as they say. So 60 divided by 3. 20. You'll be able to do 20 listings. And if those 20 listings are making you $1 or $2, you're only at $40. Or if it's $1, you're only making $20. You need to shrink that. Shrink that and make your average sale higher. The higher your average sale, the better off you're going to be, because you're going to be able to save time. Now, that's at doing it 3 minutes. I don't think you could do it at 3 minutes consistently. You may do one at 3, you may do one at 4, you may do one at 5, because you'll do research and you're like hemming and hawing. I'm not sure about this price. I don't know. And so, if you checked out the previous podcast, there's some tips and ways to speed things up, some processes. Basically taking each task and doing that at a time. If you're taking pictures, just take a whole bunch of pictures. If you're just doing research, you can do the research and the listings together. There's really just 2 that we could break it down now. But that's stuff that is important, and getting a rhythm. And so I think it's not worth it. It's not worth it for me, anyway, to sell cards that will be $1 or $2, $3. It's just not. I want to be $10. That's where I want to be. And does that mean I have to lot a ton of cards? Now, maybe I lot a bunch of cards up and it's still not $10, but it's 50 cards. I'm okay with that, because that's a lot of space that I'm going to get back. And so if space is an issue, that's also something to think about. But it just, you want to be an average of $10, I think, minimum, on cards. As I start getting rid of cards, I'm going to start raising that price, my average, price per sale, because then it becomes easier to make more money. You won't have to sell as much. You can save time. This is all about a side hustle, getting the cards that you want for your PC, and also maybe making a couple of bucks. And if you're doing this by, getting rid of your waste. So in the beginning, I would say it may be all right, because because there's so many cards. You know what? No, I'm scratch that. Lot this stuff up. Make sure you do the correct shipping, and just get rid of it. You want money back. There may be cards you want to keep. That's fine. I like to keep the rookies, but everything else, gone. If it's a bunch of commons and you're taking a big hit on it, so what? What are you going to do with them? Are you just going to look at them in the box? No. You're going to complain that you have all these commons in your box. And You're just going to go, I got all this crap, I don't want it, but you don't want to give it away either. And you're in that limbo. And you're like, oh, maybe I'll do them in team lots, and I'll sell them that way. Now, if you bought cases and you're selling them, different story. I'm not talking about that. That is a completely different beast, because if you have lots of, the Detroit Tigers, and they're selling for $2 or $3, but you have 10 of them, that one item is going to get you $30. And that's really where you want to get. You want to find stuff that you can sell that you can get multiples of. That's where the gravy is. The gravy brought to you by... So now it's a little bit more difficult with sports cards to get that amount of cards, but that's where you want to, when you get rid of all your stuff, and now you have that money and you have that buying power, and now instead of maybe buying those collections to look for that hidden gem, buy cards that you feel will appreciate in value relatively quickly, or you feel are going to go up, or you can buy a good deal by buying lots of them. So if you can get, for $5 less on each card because you're buying 10 of them, deals like that. But that's where I'm going to be heading. That's where my brain is going. Right now I need money so I can get cards graded. I may not grade as many. I have a ton of cards that need to be graded, and I may hold off on doing all that stuff. I might do just a little bit at a time, so at least I have something in the pipeline. I don't, at first I'm going, well, I got to wait to get this money, and then I'll do everything all at once. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that, because I don't want to use any of my outside, my regular money. It's all going to be my play money that I'm using, and I have to be more stringent on that. Every once in a while I'll just take money from, I got it, no big deal. And it is a big deal, because I'm trying to become more disciplined, and I'm trying to do, trying to make this more business-like. And so in order for me to do that, I have to have a process set up, and we talked about setting up goals and what you want to do. And this is one of them. And it might not work out. I might not be able to move all these commons. I might just go, here, $10 for everything, plus shipping. And people go, I don't want it. And I can't get rid of it. And I'll put it on Facebook, and we'll put it on Instagram, we'll put it whatever. And we just can't get rid of it. So then what do? Do you donate them? Maybe. Do you, is it just, all right, might as well just keep it in my house? I don't know. To me, what I'm going to do is pull all the rookie cards out and try to sell the rest. If that doesn't work out and no one's buying them, then I include the rookies, and then I try that. Or I try to sell the rookies in a lot. I just want these out of my house. I'm not looking to make any money. I'm just looking to get something back. I'm trying to get something back from the money that I wasted. And so, in order for me to do that, the best bet is not to waste time, because it will become such a daunting task that I'm not going to want to do it. I'm going to go, I got 1,000 cards. And for me to separate all these cards into teams and try to sell them in team lots will take me hours. Hours. Or I just say, hey, this can fit in a medium mailbox, charge $10 for shipping because it'll wait, and then be on my way. And then I'm done with that. And go, all right, you can get all these cards for $15, $20. Let's do this. And so I think that's the best thing to do. For me, anyway. You may love doing this stuff, and you go, it doesn't bother me. And you do not value your time as much, which is fine. Maybe you go, I don't care. I don't care if I spend a whole week doing this. But this channel is somewhat geared to middle-aged men who like to play with cardboard and don't have all that time. And so if you don't have that time, you need to find ways to cut corners or take some losses, or you're not going to make as much money. You're definitely not going to make as much money. I'll tell you that right now. But I would feel a ton better if I had one box of cards, mostly graded, some cards that I wanted to keep, and it would be easier for me to manage, easy for me for accountability with regards to, how much did something cost, how much am I selling it for, maneuverability in, well, now I have this cash in PayPal. It may not be much, but it's something. What can I do with it? Can I buy a more expensive card that I can flip? It's just a lot of stuff. So I have vintage cards that I want to get rid of. I have common cards that I want to get rid of. So those are the two areas. So between those two areas, I should do pretty well. I would just be happy to get my money back for the vintage cards at this point. Because I didn't buy anyone, like a Mickey Man or Clemente. I have one or two, but, the rest were just commons. And I bought them well, but they don't move as well. They're not as fast. And the only way to move them is put them on auction. And if you put them on auction, you're not going to get the money that you would and buy it now. So there's just that. So now what do I do? So I may get to the point where I'm just going to go, I really don't care. And I'm just going to put it up on auction, maybe put a reserve price, or I'll start emailing, guys on blowout forums, posting on blowout forums, posting on, sending emails to PSA card, just trying to move these cards, because that's not the game I want to be in. I don't want to be in the game to collect, sets. That's not what I want to do. Maybe I want, a vintage card here or there, like that Babe Ruth card I really liked, and it may go up in value, but I'm going to keep that card because I really like it. But beyond that, everything else is going to go, and so that's where I'm at. And to do that, I will reiterate, get each sale the price up. Make it easier on yourself. It'll be easier to ship. Instead of shipping 20 cards in envelopes, you can ship 1 or 2 packages and be done with it. It'll be easier. It'll simplify your life. So, all right, I think I've jibber-jabbered on this. SVAcardcollectors.com. Also, download the Flick Chat app where we can talk about accountability. Talk about ourselves and our lives. No, it's a good app. We could talk. We could jibber-jabber. Like I said, I will be off next week. I am taking that time to think about and to plan, like I said, what I want to do with this channel. And not that it's going to go away or anything like that. Just try to get a little bit more organized just with everything. And hopefully it's not going to be any radical changes or things like that. I just think it'll be something, a better way to serve you guys. I like to serve. So, all right, guys, you know what to do. Buy some cards and go broke. Later.